conservation effort in Northwest Arkansas stepping in now to protect critical land and water resources. It brings a big benefit for local wildlife and the people who love getting outdoors. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman tells us about the area in Madison County that is now protected.
The Northwest Arkansas Land Trust has announced that the White River Headwaters Preserve, a 769-acre forest in Madison County, is now permanently protected.
By protecting its headwaters, we're protecting the source, the actual source of the river.
Marson Nance is the director of philanthropy for the Northwest Arkansas Land Trust and says by protecting the White River, we protect everything else as well. The area is home to threatened wildlife and critical water source for over 500,000 people.
Adding on to places that are already protected and making those tracts even bigger for wildlife and water quality and all the things we love about Northwest Arkansas. Cleaner the water is going into Beaver Lake, the less it costs and the less work has to be done to clean it up before we can drink it.
Plans for the preservation include opening the area to the public for hiking and other outdoor activities, as well as providing space for wildlife to thrive.
There's several aquatic species that are considered state species of greatest conservation need in Arkansas. So some fish species, some invertebrates that live in the creek.
So we are incredibly excited to see this happen to protect this area, not only for drinking water for 500,000 Northwest Arkansas residents, but to protect the fish and wildlife.
Trey Reed with the Arkansas Game and Fish says this does wonders for the entire White River.
Of course, the benefits to drinking water as that water ends up in Beaver Lake, but also to the aquatic organisms there. There are 3 aquatic species in the White River there that are species of greatest conservation need.
And once open to the public, others can enjoy its beauty. Not only are there plans for public access, but it will also offer future opportunities for environmental research. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. We told you last night the Associated Press reported Benton County has become a hot spot for cracking down on illegal immigration. Springdale's mayor is now responding, saying the use of an image of a city police vehicle in the article is misleading. That report states the county sheriff's office cooperates with ICE through a program which has led to more than 450 arrests. Once a person is suspected of illegally entering, they are held at the county jail, then transported to the Washington County Detention Center for ICE holding. Mayor Doug Sprouse says Springdale does not participate in the program and does not patrol for immigration violations. We also reached out to ICE, who sent us this statement saying, quote, Benton County has been a jail enforcement model partner for 15 years. The BSCO 287G program has been a leader for years, and dedicated partners can make a big difference. If you want to see the entire AP report, you can find it on our website at 5newsonline.com. Today, Grant Hardin's attorneys filing a motion to continue a hearing scheduled for next week in Izard County for his escape from that state prison in north central Arkansas this summer. Hardin is already serving a prison sentence for murder and rape, and this new case centers on the escape itself. The Department of Corrections says he walked out of the prison disguised as an employee. Hardin's attorneys requested the date be rescheduled because of time constraints from another case that they are working on. At the Arkansas Capitol, we are previewing some of the new Arkansas laws going into effect starting January 1st. Here are some of the big ones. Act 1008 eliminates the state sales tax on groceries. Local taxes will remain unchanged. Act 881 gives corporations tax exemptions if they relocate their headquarters to Arkansas. And Act 390 mandates insurance coverage for lung cancer screenings and follow-up services. Act 875 increases the disability onset age by 20 years. That means if a disability occurred before the age of 46, a person could be eligible for tax advantage savings accounts to pay for certain expenses. That last law comes through during a difficult time for one of the largest statewide disability advocacy groups. Disability Rights Arkansas still waiting for more than $1 million in federal funding. Tanya Motorzitsky tells us how the financial strain is forcing them now to furlough workers and pause key programs.
I've been doing this for 37 years, and this is the first time that we've run into the situation that, our funding is kind of stuck.
The shutdown in Washington may be in the rear view, but here in Little Rock, the struggles it brought continue. A disability support nonprofit is running out of money, employees, and the people who depend on it are feeling the fallout.
But when the government shuts down, we have to rely on previous year funding, if we have it, to maintain operations.
Disability Rights Arkansas relies on federal funds to operate the 9 programs with a fiscal year budget of around $2 million. Executive Director Tom Massaw says when the government reopened last month, it did not mean the funds were immediately dispersed. So in the meantime, to offset the costs,
I had to furlough 5 staff. We had to stop accepting new cases across the board.
Out of the 9 programs DRA runs, 3 are not available right now, and Massaw says 2 more may be paused as well, including educational resources and a program monitoring abuse and neglect claims. I reached out to U.S. Senator John Bozeman to see if Congress plans on doing anything extra to help groups like DRA. His spokesman said in a statement, "Our office stays in regular contact with DRA to provide support and inquire with the relevant departments and agencies on its behalf." The senator recognizes it is an important resource for many Arkansans. Until then, Massaw says the group may not run normally until January, and that's if there's not another shutdown.
5 staff that I had to furlough, I can't tell them when I can bring them back because we want to make sure that we are stable.
Was Tanya Moderzitsky reporting. Now, one of the programs paused right now tracks neglect and abuse claims at 2 Springdale psychiatric residential treatment facilities. A database on DRA's website lists police reports and 911 calls, but no entries have been made since September. In the meantime, Congress has allocated the grants to the DRA, so it legally has to eventually show up.